Welcome to Useless Agent, your safe space from stupidity and the magazine scary clown show. You are all fair game in the eyes of the wicked, and we see you. Here we go.
Uncle Rick! Oh shit, motherfucker! I'm Kenny Rogers and this is Justice! No! We suck again!
And the greatest arrogance of all, save the planet. What? Are these fucking people kidding me? Save the planet? We don't even have to take care of ourselves yet. We gotta learn how to care for one another. We're gonna save the fucking planet? The planet has been through a lot worse than us. Been through all kinds of things worse than us. Been through earthquakes, volcanoes, plate tectonics, continental drifts, solar flares, sunspots, magnetic storms, the magnetic reversal of the poles. Hundreds of thousands of years of bombardment by comets, asteroids, and meteors, worldwide floods, tidal waves, worldwide fires, erosion, cosmic rays, recurring ice ages.
Hey, Cheesy. Oh, no. Oh, no. Not good. Okay. Okay. Sorry, guys. Trying to get rid of something. This is bad. Okay. I guess this is the only way to do this. You know what? Let me come back. Let me come back. This sucks. Is this better? A little. No. We'll be back. Okay. Still no voice? Oh, there we go. And okay. Sorry about that. As great as Streamlabs is as a kind of like a middleman to get us from A to B, it's not like it's free. It used to be free, but if you're gonna make us pay for it, at least you know make it work. So a lot of times, like you just saw right now, I'm all set, everything's ready to go, and then suddenly it just tells me my camera's not working. Now, normally this happens as soon as you turn on the third party. I use Streamlabs, so normally it'll pop up on a little thing. It didn't do that, so I thought you guys were gonna hear me just fine. And it just shows you that no matter how many, no matter how used you get to this shit, there's always going to be a curveball. So you should always be ready to start over. And I do want to get into one quick thing before we start the show and get into the topic of the day. It's the subject of podcasts and live cast in general. I used to not really have an opinion one way or the other. I really couldn't care less. But I have understood now the importance of why you need to promote your podcast or your live stream, and also why you even have one. Now, personally, I've wanted my whole life to have a microphone that moves around, and I could run my own radio station. So, in the year 2002, maybe 2003, I had a friend of mine who his father bought a radio station. Now, even though his family was very Christian, they were very religious Christians. They were also very open-minded people and just great, loving people. I was always kind of jealous of his family because they seemed like one of those normal movie families you'd see like on Beethoven. You know, those like Charles Grodin kind of families. And I never had anything even close to that. So for me, the idea of having a Brady Bunch style family was just ridiculous to me. And I grew a little bit jaded thinking that, oh, you have a nice family because you're white or you have money. And again, this was because of the way I was raised around, other people who were, ignorant and completely angry at their the financial plight of their existence or their situation. And you could throw at this family, you could throw out, the bullshit empty platitudes like, oh, you're not a tree and you can go do whatever you want. That is horseshit. No, you can't. If you don't have the right connections, if you don't know the right people, you are on a really, really bad start. And this is why people get famous and then you only hear them for like one album and then they disappear. Most of the time, it's simply because they knew somebody famous, they had some sort of talent, but they wasted all on one album because that was really all it. That was all they had. So the reason why I'm mentioning this is because, excuse me, now we have podcasts, live streams, and all this stuff. And I used to think, wow, well, who doesn't? Now, 10, 20 years before that, when we first heard about websites, I said, yeah, sure. Who doesn't have one? Because back then I looked at websites the same way we look at social media profiles. I thought that's how it worked. So there is a severe case of jealousy and ignorance on the side of the disenfranchised. And it's really, I want to say it's not our fault, but it kind of is because we continue to circumvent these false narratives that no person worked for what they have. Instead, everyone is just given shit. Well, no, that's not how it works. It's now it works for a lot of people, but not everybody. So the importance to me of having these things, these live streams, is like having a video diary that other people can join into. Now, the original point of this show was to allow you guys to jump in the conversation and alter the conversation. So that way we would be based on whatever you guys want to talk about. That never happened. Nobody followed suit. Nobody jumped in the chat boxes. So I decided to just make this my show. And in a situation like that, you really got no choice. So I still want to do that. But the importance of this message lies around that, podcasts seem so frequent, but they're very few and far between when it comes to quality on what they're talking about. Now, I've seen some podcasts where they literally don't talk about anything. There's no issues. There's nothing. So when I went to explain to somebody the actual process of having to set up the V8 sound card, how to set up all of your equipment, it's a good fucking 10-minute process. You have to have all your videos first. So in case you're trying to do this, this is why I wanted to say this. In case you are trying to do a podcast or a live stream, I want to highly recommend you get a live V8 sound card because it'll work with your phone or it'll work with your computer. Another thing is, who doesn't like having a gold mic? I mean, check this out. That's pretty sweet. So it's actually a gold mic. Now, another thing with having this equipment, you do not want to talk on the top of the microphone. See, now when you have a condenser mic, the condenser mic is not powered the same way as a variant mic or a dynamic. A dynamic, you can basically use the entire circumference of the microphone and it'll always give you the same amount of frequency, the same amount of volume. But with a condenser, it's condensed to one area, usually being the side of the actual thing. So notice the difference of my voice up here, and then notice the difference of my voice right here. You see, it's very different. So in case you guys are throwing out the idea of starting one, let me just give you a few tips. The first thing you want to make sure you do, let's just say you already have your Streamlabs set or your OBS system, whatever you want to use. You have the card, you have everything set up. First of all, if you have any kind of sound system that's plugged into your headphone jack, take it out because that's going to ruin everything. Notice the first 2 episodes that I did with this V8 card, it was terrible because I didn't understand the process. So you're going to want to take out any of these. See, my computer doesn't have a good Bluetooth system. So this is the actual plug to my ordinary subwoofer and all the material, or, the whole sound system. And it's a great sound system, but it's just going to get in the way. So make sure you just unplug that. And then you plug in one of those adapters that go into the back of the card. And then you're literally just going to put it into background because you're relying on the background sounds that the computer has. Background noises like this. Both even come out, and let's say you want to have the voice of God. Well, that's not going to work if you don't know how to properly set everything up. And then, of course, you can sound like God, or you can sound like, a chipmunk. So it's a great soundboard. I highly recommend you check out the V8 soundboard. And, the buttons are okay. They're a little short, but, if you have your own soundboard on your system, then you're fine. All right, so I wanted to donate the first 15 minutes on how to do this. So just in case you are starting a podcast, starting a live stream, make sure that those are the steps you do. First, get the sound card set up, get your lighting set up, and then get all the videos you want to share set up on the top of the tab, so that way you can just bounce from video to video without having to look anything up. And then I highly recommend using the Streamlabs system because it's pretty goddamn streamlined. It's pretty simple. And there's really not much you need to learn. You don't have to spend hours in front of tutorials or anything like that. You can really figure it out. And with modern technology, it's not like the old days where you just kind of explore, figure things out on your own. You can break shit like that because everything is made with specific coding. So if you have like a Roku TV and you don't really know what button to press, if you start button mashing, the computer inside the television thinks you're trying to set up a code. So it'll put in that code. My mom did that, and I couldn't get the Spanish, speaking over. It was covering everything, and it was like that for an hour until I finally figured out how to dismantle it. So, if you have any more questions on how to set up, what ways to set up, what to do first, little things like that, you can always come talk to us on the show, or just send us a message on Facebook, Twitter, look for Useless Agent, Reddit. The only thing we don't do is Instagram, but we're always happy to help. And so it is not a very simple process, so it can be confusing. So don't feel bad if you get a little confused. All right, just hit us up, and we're happy to help. All right, so that was the end of the first part, which was basically my nice little tutorial to help out those in podcast needs. Thank you. Not you. You suck. So moving on. Why did I call this episode Ultimate Fighting Courtroom? Obviously, it's a UFC joke, but why? Well, it's because we're turning into places that we used to once laugh at, thinking, wow, these people are so unorganized, and they're just so, what's the word? I don't know. They just have absolutely no self-control. They're just reckless and will let the emotions get the best of them. Now, some people think that this footage comes from Korea or North Korea. First of all, nobody gets to fight in North Korea. Nobody, unless Kim Jong-un forces you to fight somebody. So, one of the first questions being, is there any benefit to that? Actually, there is. And there is a town that I've mentioned before. But I want you to go ahead and just look at the Google search for it, because it was the first thing that just popped up when I went looking for it. All right, and this is the actual Google search of what is the name of the town that has a fight once a year. So the town is called Takanakui, and Takanakui is Quechua for to hit each other. Now, it's an annual established practice of fighting fellow communities. And what's hilarious is they do this in Peru, and it is entirely built on the idea on Christmas. So on December 25th, rather than getting a nice little bow and a box, you get boxed. And you get your ass bowed out. So I think this is pretty good. We should adopt this. And so I always thought it was interesting. But once a year, this entire town comes out. I've seen it live, not live, but I've seen it, on National Geographic. And I think I saw it on Nova. And it was just amazing to see that after a year of buildup, whether this guy never returned your fucking lawnmower, or that one bitch, talks shit about you when you're not around. So these people are super positive. They're super conscientious, and they're very respectful people. Now, on December 25th, those rules go right out the window, because it's not about being nice. It's not about any of that shit. It's simply about what's right. And so this is your chance to literally make things right with the neighbor. So the whole town comes out, and I've seen these old ladies got their little chanclas out, and they're beating the shit out of each other. And then when you look up their crime rates, it's ridiculously low. And again, the whole purpose of it is, to avoid bottling it up because it's not fucking healthy. So community centers and members settle their year's conflicts. So from property disputes to family quarrels, this is all hand-to-hand combat. There's no weapons allowed, and y'all just box that shit out, get it out of your system, and move on with your life. Now, when I studied not studied, but when I started looking up their crime rates in that specific area, they pretty much have none. Because if they got a problem, they deal with it on Christmas, you know? And I can only imagine if we did that, if we adopted that system here, I would be able to just write out on a marker board, just each family, or not family member, but each community member, like Jared from down the block needs an ass whooping for this reason, this reason, this reason. So every person would have a name and then a dash, and like didn't return my lawnmower, farted on my couch and it never smelled right since. Just little fucking things like that, and you get to just go on Christmas and fight that shit out. So it seems like, you know, maybe we should adopt this, because I want to show you a Taiwanese parliament, and this is Taiwan. This happens in Taiwan all the time during their courtroom proceedings. And I want you to just see the absolute wreckage that comes with this job. They're literally throwing water balloons. All right. Okay, so what we're reading is that the critics and families of the city residents are not happy with this idea of building this thing that's going to cost millions, and they're against it. This is a lot like what we have going on right now with I forgot. Well, they're building something and they want all this space, and I'm totally against it. It slips my mind right now, but we're going through the exact same thing with certain areas. And then you know, if you want to go to the super conspiracy side of it, think about Bohemian Grove, and we know that they are knocking down red trees, like seriously redwoods. The endangered redwood fucking tree. These trees are older than life forms that we know of. Like the beauty of the red forests and the redwoods, the beauty of it is the age of each tree. And we know that Bohemian Grove happens in the redwood forest, and they basically own thousands of acres, so they can have little mercenaries guarding it, so you can't see them have their little stupid, immature little playtime while they play dress up and listen to the stupid music and pretend they're special. Unfortunately, they are. But so I want you to see how they handle their issues with just no reserve and just violence. The whole point is to throw the chair at somebody, dude. Who comes to Parliament with a water balloon? I want to be in this Parliament. go, 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 fight, 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 fight. Kick his ass! Damn, y'all can't fight for shit. Now, do you see all this fighting going on? Because they are opposing a nuclear plant. They don't want it. They don't want it in their homes. They don't want the fear of a nuclear fallout or not nuclear fallout, but I mean, plants have problems all the time. We have heard so many horrible stories that have been swept under the rug, but then get pulled out later about entire towns that were poisoned. And it's sick. And it's great. And, kudos to them for actually fighting for what they believed in. They knew that they didn't want it and they fought against it. Now, during the whole nuclear arms race, let's remember when Gaddafi decided not to go for the nuclear arms. Instead, he spent his money to try to build his own economy, and he ended up sodomized with a knife for that. And I know he was not a good guy, but what he was doing was very revolutionary for their country. They didn't know that, though. So that shows you the entire power of the television. That entire, city and the rest of the country, if they could, they all wanted to tear him apart. Now, it wasn't like a case like Mussolini, where when Mussolini died, he was driven over to Italy, or in Italy. He was actually driven over after getting, shot, after getting his ass whooped. They took his body, they drove him down into the little cities of Italy, and we literally tore him apart. I'm sure there are a few families in Italy somewhere that have the bones of his fingers or something, because people were so disgusted with him, they tore him apart. And that doesn't happen unless you are really hated. Now, Gaddafi was beating the shit out of and had a knife shoved up his ass. But, I mean, they didn't literally tear him apart. And, again, this is all power of media. So, why do I show you that? Because that's where we're heading right now. And, this is no longer a maybe, it's a definite. It's almost inevitable until we start changing shit. Now, to start off, I want to say thank you to Ghana and everyone at Spiritual LLC. She really understands the point of the show, and I think that's why we gravitate to each other real easily. She's a good friend. And I wish her and her husband nothing but the best life that life can offer. But she had seen me on the street, and she was the one that had given us this whole setup here that is just amazing. And basically had told me that the reason why she believes in this show is because it's not for everybody. This show is not meant for people that have no clue about politics. Now, granted, if you don't, I am happy to help. All you have to do is come in the chat box and tell me your question, or send me a inbox, or just simply send me a question. If there's anything you did not understand from my show, let me know and I will clarify it. So it just helps to know that the people that are watching the show are 9 times out of 10 the people that I really do want to watch this show, regardless of how low the numbers are. The fact that even one intelligent person can go, yeah, I agree with that, that makes my fucking day. So after we just saw that crazy shit in Peru, this is a legitimate this is a legitimate fight breaking out in our own government, thanks to Mr. Mullen over here, who for some reason really thinks he is like a real tough guy, and he's not. He apparently has some like training and stuff like that, and I don't know why people say that like as if it means anything. Your training doesn't mean shit unless it actually applies to whatever you're doing. Like look at Steven Seagal. You could tell me about how you're a master of Hapkido all you want, but guess what? No one's ever going to win a fight with Hapkido. And I used to feel the same about a lot of different ways. So this moron right here is fed up with the witness. And rather than being an adult and being a senator, he literally challenges him to a fight as if this is fourth grade. And so we can't look at Peru any different anymore if this is how we're going to act.
On your mouth. We can be two consenting adults. We can finish it here.
Okay, that's fine. Perfect.
You want to do it now?
I'd love to do it right now.
Well, stand your butt up then.
You stand your butt up.
Oh, hold on.
Big
No,
guy.
hold, stop it.
Is that your solution every
Hold it. No, sit down. Sit down. Okay. You know, you're a United States Senator. Sit down.
Active.
Oh, okay.
Sit down, please.
All right.
Can I respond? Mr.
Hold
Chairman?
it. Hold it. If
Hold
we
on.
can't, no,
This is
I have
what
the
he
mic.
said.
I'm sorry.
This is
Hold
what
it.
he said.
You'll have your time.
Okay.
Can I respond?
Oh, no, you can't.
Now, this went on. It just kept going. It's not like it ever here.
At the Smoking Guns in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
We're not going to be
what was the
talking about
challenge?
physical
What-
confrontations here.
You want to fight me?
What'd you say about any time, any place?
Let's have coffee, discuss our differences.
Oh, that's what you said.
Yeah, that's right, exactly.
All right, well, let's sit down and have coffee.
Let's do it. I'd love to.
But
do it.
It's
the,
funny how you're backing out.
Okay.
I don't back on anything.
You did.
You're the one. You're a 100.
Senator-
Should be the most influential people in this country making changes.
Senator
You're
President-
focused on.
Okay.
You're
Thank
focused
you.
on
Why did
debate
you-
that's not
why-
even relevant.
Keep texting
You're an
me and they
embarrassment.
got
Senator-
You're
silent.
an embarrassment.
They
Well,
went
look.
silent after-
Now I wanted him to go ahead and say that. I really wanted him to get that in there because again, regardless of how the witness is responding, you are the senator. You are supposed to be the adult in the room. If he were to be hostile and act like that for no reason whatsoever, let's take the personality out of it. Let's say there is no personal difference and he's just being combative for no reason. Well, your job as the senator is to be the bigger person and not worry about that shit and just try to get the answers. But he's not trying to get any answers. He wants to pick a fight. That is someone that not only does not deserve their seat, does not deserve their job, but honestly, that person needs therapy because I love the way the witness stops and just goes, you're supposed to be, some of the 100, 300 like smartest and most qualified for this, and your focus is on bullshit and violence. You're pathetic. You're an embarrassment. And I 1,000% agree with the guy. The guy's a Teamster. The guy's a lifelong American. And you are talking to him as if you're such a goddamn badass. Now, what's funny is, and I'll prove it to you right now, if I go to, I'm going on Google right now, and all I'm going to put in is Mark Wayne Mullen hiding January 6th. Now, it is amazing the results that you get. So I want to show you one of them. There we go. That should be good. All right, let's show you this one right here to show you just how much of a badass he really is. Now, there he is right there. Let me get out of the way. So there he is right there. And if you notice, he's right here when you have a whole crowd of dudes with guns and agents pointing their gun at the door. Yeah, what a real tourist event. Yeah, this was totally unfucking violent, non-violent fucking protest. And then here's another picture of him right here. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different agents, all 5 agents pointing their gun at the door. So regardless of whoever opens it, everyone's going to run away from it from being fucking shot. And notice that he not only is sitting, behind them, sure, whatever, you're a pussy, I know that, but you're hiding behind 2 pews, 2 rows of pews, knowing you have 7 guys to protect you, and then you have a regular security sitting next to you. Is he holding an extra pair of pants for you for when you shit them? Or did you just feel more comfortable having some black guy next to you that you could, I don't know, bully or tell him what to do? Because it's funny how the only person that looks concerned in this photo is Mark. No one else is. They're holding their gun at a ready position, but they don't really seem like they give a fuck. Like they know no one's really going to come in. Not to mention, we can see here that the fucking thing is barricaded. So what's your problem? And you notice that he's standing behind the pews in a ready position to run like a bitch. And it's like, where are you even going to run to? And what I found hysterical about that photo is I found one too where he's looking at the camera almost to say, like, please don't film me like this. And it's like, wait, I thought you're like a jiu-jitsu fucking awesome badass, always playing with your belt buckle, and you're afraid of some fucking crazy rednecks that are supposed to be on your side. So if this was a tourist attraction and a nonviolent protest, why were you Republicans running like little bitches and hiding behind pews in front of 6 different fucking agents? You don't hide behind 6 agents and some pews unless you are a poon. All right? You have to seriously be a fucking wimp. And it's not getting any better. It's not making any more sense. And the amount of backpedaling is hilarious. So we just saw him pretending to be the tough guy. And of course, the guy that usually stands up first and the guy that sits there, there's a difference in the attitude because the dude sitting there knows you're not a threat. So by standing up, you're trying to do the typical animalistic way of making yourself bigger than you are so the other animal gets scared. Well, dude, we're not birds or fish or anything like that, man. We see right through your pussy ass. And so let me go ahead and use the words of a famous model that got in trouble. You are just a straight pussy ass bitch, all right? And to go on and try to pick a fight, knowing that the fight will not occur, he's literally that guy that is trying to lunge at a dude because he knows his friends will stop him. But in this case, it was on live fucking C-SPAN television. So, I mean, at least good for C-SPAN. At least they had something interesting to show. So I was going to show you a couple more videos, but we're completely out of time. So instead, let me leave you with one huge, awesome backpedaling. And again, there's such a difference an ass whooping makes. If you just kick some ass, you'll notice a total change in people's behavior after they get their ass kicked. But this is Marjorie Taylor Greene now saying that she's never believed in QAnon. knowing that every one of her fucking tweets, and she is a twit, so sorry, all of her Twitter bullshit always had Q on it, you know, and she even stated that Q is a national hero. And here she is denying its existence, the true Trump fucking strategy right here. And it's goddamn pathetic, but nevertheless, always going to be happening.
In court today.
Well, you believe in QAnon, right?
No, I did not say I believe in QAnon.
I did not say I believe in QAnon, which is funny because she said this in 2017.
There has been a lot of chatter. I don't know how much you guys know about Q. It's an anonymous person. All right, so Q is a patriot. We know that for sure.
Q is a patriot.
See? And again, she said Q is a patriot, a national hero, or some shit like that. And then, again, going through the typical Trumpian, the Trumpian defense. I never met him. And I swear to God, it's going to be hilarious when they show him a picture of Donald Trump Jr. and Eric. And for the first time, he'll be like, oh, no, they are. That's Tiffany over there. I know her. She's a good kid. That's fucking hysterical. All right. So it's just sad that this is what we have come to. And it'll be, rather than worrying about who is in the chair, we really need to worry more about who the chair is being thrown at. It's a sad time. All right. That's my time. Love you guys. Thanks for sticking with the show. We're going to keep going. I have no plans on stopping this show. So please like, share, subscribe, spread it to your friends. Let people know, because we want more intelligent people. We don't want, no offense, but we don't want the Swifties. We don't want the Biden fanatics. We just want people that have common sense. All right. Love you guys. Stay free. Stay yourselves. Pass it on. See you on the other side. And most of all, please stay cheesy, my friends. In all aspects of life, always stay cheesy.
Welcome to Useless Agent, your safe space from stupidity and the maggots of scary culture. You are all fair game in the eyes of the wicked, and we see you. Here we go.
It just feels like... Oh shit, motherfucker! Hi, I'm Kenny Rogers and this is Justice! Oh no! We suck again!
The greatest arrogance of all, save the planet. What? Are these fucking people kidding me? Save the planet? We don't even have to take care of ourselves yet. We gotta learn how to care for one another. We're gonna save the fucking planet? The planet has been through a lot worse than us. Been through all kinds of things worse than us. Been through earthquakes, volcanoes,